That's fine. It's fascinating. Now, you started out as a TV screenwriter, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. How hard was it to make the transition from television to novels?
Very. Television, you can write a line of, you just write what room you're in. Are you interior, exterior, day or night, and where you are. And leave it to somebody else to make it happen, right? Now with Star Trek, you want to write to your existing sets because, as Matt Jeffries said, you know how much a foot of corridor costs? He never told me, but a foot of corridor was expensive. It's like, if he has to spend money building something, it's money that isn't available for something else. So I actually said, well, what if I combine this set and that set, and I lose one actor and lose one set? He said, okay, I'll do that. So I learned, and then the other thing is dialogue, which you spend a lot of time, I spent a lot of time on the set listening to how Shatner talked, listening to how Nimoy talked, listening to how James Doohan and Nichelle and all the different actors. So I got their voice patterns so that I could go, and because I had some theater arts background and had spent a couple summers trying to learn the Scots dialect, which I'm forbidden to do in public now by a real Scotsman. But the Irish, I can do the Irish. I picked that up living in Dublin. But I had developed a little bit of an ear for speech patterns and speech rhythms. So I picked up a frog somewhere. Anyway, those ducks outside are very jealous. I got the frog. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so I'm at home at my keyboard, at my typewriter. That's like it's a keyboard that connects directly to the printer. There's no computer in between. So, and I'm thinking, how would William Shatner say this line? What is the line that is Kirk's voice? And how would Leonard Nimoy? What is Spock's voice? What is Dr. McCoy's voice? And what is the character? And why would they? And so that I could hear the actor in my head. So the dialogue came out so right for the actors that several people, Bob Justman said the scene between Kirk and Scotty, who started the fight, was the best scene ever for their relationship. And Nichelle Nichols said she had never seen a script go through so many colored pages without the dialogue being changed. I mean, a line got changed here or there, but she said, the script was 90% the dialogue I wrote because it matched the actors and the characters so well. It didn't need to be rewritten. And I was very, very proud of that because it meant I had gotten my job done of understanding the show I was writing for. Now, to go to a novel, I not only have to say, okay, exterior day, I have to describe it enough so the reader can get a mental picture. And then the characters, I have to describe the character enough so you get a mental picture. I do not really describe my characters that much because I know you're going to imagine them in your head. So I don't, except where it's absolutely necessary. I will make a point of saying she's a redhead, or this one is a person of color, or that one is, but I'll try and do as much as I can in dialogue. In one book, I had a character, fellow named Randy Dannenfelser, paid for the privilege of being Tuckerized, which is, I named a character after him. And I said, Randy, I have made this character a truly vile, offensive, horrible person. Are you sure? He says, oh, I love it. Go for it. So I apologize because he said, no, it's all right. But it's all in the character's dialogue that you get a mental picture of him. But when you're writing a novel or even a short story, you have to describe everything and still do it emotionally fast enough so the reader doesn't say, oh, for God's sakes, get on with the story. Classical literature before movies and television, there's a great deal more description than you find in contemporary novels. If I were to say, if I were to write a story about and the castle sat on top of a hill, you would have a mental picture of a castle. But if you had grown up in, let's say, West Elbow, Nevada in the year 1860, and you pick up a book, the castle's, what's a castle? The castle was this great stone monument. I'd have to describe it in much greater detail, which is, if you look at a lot of older books, there's all those extra descriptions. But now, because you have the mental images from all the movies and TV shows, and magazines and everything that you've seen, I don't have to do as much description. In fact, the old house looked like something that Dracula would have enjoyed. You know, that kind. And you go, oh my God. Or the interior was, the decoration was enough to trouble the sleep of interior decorators. That kind. You know, you would go there. It's like, so. And Terry Pratchett was very good at that kind of description. So one of the things, I'm still over answering your question.
No, you're fine.
When I was studying art, we had an exercise where we would paint in the style of a different artist every week. So I started doing that as a writer. So I'd say, here's my Harlan Ellison story. Not that I'm imitating Harlan, I'm evoking Harlan. I'm evoking Theodore Sturgeon. I'm evoking Heinlein. That one's easy. Heinlein is easy to imitate. And if you read Jumping Off the Planet or A Matter for Men, you'll see A Matter for Men is Heinlein adult style. Jumping Off the Planet is a Heinlein juvenile. And it was deliberately a Heinlein juvenile, but you get to the end and you say Heinlein could never have gotten away with half of this because his editor, Alice Dalgleish, would have leaped out of her skin because, you know, the kids are from a dysfunctional family. The parents are fighting over the kids. It's a child custody kidnapping. One of the kids is gay. You know, like Heinlein couldn't have sold that as a juvenile in the 50s. So, but I was able to go places in my storytelling that Heinlein never could.